Sounds so good.
Oh, boy. I found him.
Guess who's back?
You hear him. He was in his cave.
Yeah.
The Fantasy Squatch himself. I have awakened him from his hibernation. It's been far too long since I've heard the voice of the Fantasy Squatch on the Fantasy Chairman podcast. Oh, it's good to see you, buddy.
Uh-huh.
It's good to see you.
Do you have a Still Dre drop on there?
Oh, no, but I need one.
We should get a Still Dre drop. And then guess who's back? Like, we could really... I mean, you could do that for any guest that you have on this. You can do it every time.
That's true.
Yeah.
I might grab a Still Dre drop at some point.
Good.
Oh, but the Squatch is awakened. He's been in a long, deep sleep preparing for the 2021 NFL season. And I know he's just been having some fantasy dreams. And as I trekked my way through the dark forests of the Pacific Northwest, trying to make my way up here to awaken this monster, and Alex and I brought you the Squatch Square Off mini-sodes to get you ready for your draft. Fantasy Squatch here. He's got some fire to lay down for you.
That's right. I heard the ominous echoes of those mini-sodes that you were doing.
Yep.
They were good.
Oh, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I liked them.
I think I won the majority of them. So draft my players, people.
Mm-hmm. Compelling.
Yes, absolutely. So we're here to get some hot takes, some thoughts,
insight.
You
ever seen
dreams?
You ever seen Wall Street?
Yeah.
I'm Charlie Sheen. No, wait. Who's it? What's the other guy's actual name? Something. I'm the older guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm the guy.
Oh yeah.
He's in everything. He's still.
Yeah.
He's like a silver fox.
I don't know why I'm blanking.
I forgot his name.
I don't know.
But anyway, I'm the other guy.
We need Statman Kyle here.
We do. We need Cast Man Kyle.
That's it.
Pull up that cast.
Goodness.
I'm the other guy anyway. I'm the insider. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about some good stuff, some information, some insight that I've been thinking about. Just a lot of stuff that I hear, rhetoric or lines that people have been talking about lately that I'm like, that sounds sexy, but it's really, really off the ledge, honestly.
I am ready to have to rein you in a little bit.
Yes,
if that's what we got to do.
My ledge is different than your ledge, different than anyone's ledge. So
the Squatch stands on a little taller ledge than most people.
Yeah,
and it sticks out a little bit farther. So
exactly, that's why you're here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you ready to lay down some fire?
Yeah, I am. Let's do this. That was me.
That's your signal.
Okay, good. All right. First thing I want to talk about, obviously, is that this season we have one extra game, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, no big deal, right? Stats-wise. We get obsessed with how that's going to work with stats. But what about health? Let's get into the mind of that. What kind of implications are we going to find from the amount of carries and touches that, I don't know, any position has? And so the thing that I was thinking about most when I thought about that was quarterback, not so much unless you're rushing. And a lot of even the rushing quarterbacks are trying to take a step back from that, like Kyler and Josh Allen. And even wide receivers, kind of, I guess, just like because they're getting the ball more. But I think the biggest thing that we're looking at here is running backs. For me, anyway.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially when we count carries like the way we do. And so the big thing for me, I feel like when this is another thing I hear a lot. League winner. Darnell Mooney, league winner. Okay, cool. Sweet. Like, that's fine to say. And every time I see it or hear it, I'm like, cool. Okay.
But
awesome.
Darnell Mooney to the moon.
Yeah, Darnell to the moon. Cool. Whatever. Okay, great. But I feel like in January, the league winners are going to be guys like Alexander Madison. They're going to be guys like A.J. Dillon. And hear me out. I'm talking about our running backs right now, obviously. But if you think about when these top guys have ever gotten injured, let's talk about Aaron Jones, obviously, because I just referenced A.J. Dillon. I just got in this huge debate. It wasn't an argument, Alex. It was a debate with this guy on Sleeper. It wasn't an argument. But what I said, because he was just this Marquez Valdez-Scantling truther. And I was like, okay, I'm hearing this guy out. Cool. But when I really thought about it, I was like, what'd they do the last time? Because Devontae had Liz Frank. Was that last year?
No,
or 2 years ago when I made
was
that
2
trade
years
with
ago.
Alex.
Yeah.
So what'd they do? They ran the explicit out of the ball. And yeah, they passed here and there. I think Tanyan got some exposure during that. But for the most part, Aaron Jones was Aaron Jones during that time. And you can, give me the if you want. Am I good on that?
I would say that you're good on that.
Okay.
I'd give you the thumbs up.
I mean, I don't think Aaron Rodgers dropped off or anything. I think he still had some stats, but for the most part, it wasn't like MVS or Lazard. Obviously, St. Brown, none of the wide receivers took over. They just put all of that offensive scheme on Aaron Jones and a little bit on Jamal Williams too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Jamal Williams was standalone value by himself there for a little while.
Yeah. Really sneaky. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking for this year, especially with that extra week, is like teams like the Packers. If Jones goes down, Dillon, we talk about league winners, he's going to explode. Alex Madison is a legit, he's good. When he took over for Dalvin, he's freaking good. He will win you weeks if Dalvin goes down, and I see Dalvin going down, and I already kind of gave it away because Alvin's in Dalvin. But Alvin Kamara is another guy. Alvin Kamara is another guy. They are going to run the explicit out of the ball. They're going to, who are they going to pass to until MT gets back? Slant boy, until he gets back. Troutman got carted off last night. Right?
Well, Troutman just got carted off, and it sounds like Nick Vannett, their other tight end, is also getting an MRI on his knee right now. Oh. And they're dropping like flies in New Orleans.
I wasn't a huge Troutman believer or truther to begin with. I thought that he'd get looks, but I don't really think he has a whole lot of skill. I just think he's massive.
He's a big boy.
So again, Traycon to the moon. Okay, cool. All right. I'm not going to sit here and, dog on that. But
it's all about Marquez Callaway now.
Is it though? That's
you see that Jameis Marquez connection?
I did. And I know Jameis likes to gun it, but Sean Payton will put the offense on Alvin Kamara. That's just how it's going to go.
I can agree with that. Yeah. I can agree with that. And
so that's my first thing is you guys, the owners and all that, when you're in a redrafts this year, take into consideration, or dynasties, if you want to win this year, get the backup running backs. Tony Pollard will win you. If Zeke goes down, they're not going to put it all on Tony Pollard. They have tons of talent on that team, but he could definitely, this is a hot take, obviously. Don't at me. And I'm sorry.
At Fantasy Squatch.
I'm sorry. But I'm sorry again. This is going to be hard for a lot of you to hear. He's just as good as Zeke.
Oh.
He is. He's just as good. I swear he is, dude. That's all.
Red face sweat emoji.
He's just as good. I swear he is. All right.
So are you telling me you're thinking that with one extra game this year, as the NFL's already been trending more towards a committee back sort of play style, that you think it's going to become even more committee? Are they going to start utilizing the backup running backs more? Or are they going to try to control more of the touches that these true workhorse backs get? Or how do you find the balance if the New Orleans Saints offense is going to be run through Alvin Kamara? He's not the type. He's not the body size, the build, the type of back that I think is going to be able to hold up to that workload for 18 games. So where do you find the balance of balancing his workload, but at the same time you're like, holy crap, he's literally the only guy we got.
Yeah. Well, it's 17 games, 18 weeks, right?
That's right. Yeah, 17 games, 18 weeks.
But still, no. I mean, like I said, he's going to get the ball jammed into his throat because they don't have. I mean, and I'm not dogging on anyone else, but they really don't have much other than him right now until Slant Boy comes back.
But at the same time, I'm thinking.
He needs a rest.
I think this is going more towards your get the backup running back.
Right.
Get that because, I mean, just that extra game, especially for the running back position, like you were saying, is you're going to want those backup running backs because maybe Latavius Murray will get a little bit more work. Mm-hmm. Or
who's this Traycon Jr.? Is that his name? Or who's this new guy that with the glasses in his profile picture and the purple? Is it Trey Scott Jr.?
No, there was a Tony Jones Jr.
Tony Jones Jr.
That's who it was.
That's his name. Yeah,
yeah, Tony Jones Jr. that they were using.
And I've heard people say he looks better than Latavius. And Latavius is not guaranteed. It's like 2.98 or something. It's under $3 million, which is less than they're playing Lindsey in Houston. So it's like that's nothing compared to. I mean, if this guy, what's his name again? Scott Jr.
Tony Jones Jr.
Sorry, I'm so bad with names. Tony Jones Jr. If he was looking better, like he might actually pick up. I mean, Alvin already gets spelled a little bit to begin with, and I'm telling you guys right now, he's going to be a workhorse. He's going to be sweating in the sun. So, I mean, yeah. I don't think that Sean Payton, LaFleur, I don't think Zimmer, I don't think they go into a committee, but I think Madison, Dillon, I'm not even trying to Pollard, maybe, yeah. Well. Dude, you can't listen to a word McCarthy says. Don't even get me started on that. You can pick that guy up and throw him, and he'll float in the air. But I think, honestly, first things first, lock down these running backs for injuries because they're going to happen. It's not if, it's when. I'm telling you right now. And on that note, when you draft Devontae Adams, don't expect 17 games. It's not happening.
Whoa.
It's not happening.
Whoa.
You're going to get top 3 production.
That's wide receiver 1, man.
Yeah, I mean, but you're not getting 17 games. I can almost guarantee it. And there's not a Packer fan out there that isn't, I get it, you might be shaking your head, but there's not some part of you that doesn't, he's right. You know I'm right.
I mean, you're probably right.
He's not glass man.
You don't need 17 games, though. You only need 16 games because if you're smart, you're not playing in week 18 for your championship. So
that's true. Yeah. But I mean, I think he goes down at some point, concussion, leg, foot. I mean, like I said, he's not glass man. And I love the guy. I have a signed jersey by him. So I'm not dogging on him. I'm just saying.
Squatch getting premonitions in his dreams here.
He's
seeing these things.
He might have game 2. I don't know, maybe 3.
What do I do to prepare for that?
It's like I just said. So you have to be able to take the team and be like, okay, what do you think they would do if Devontae goes down? Does that mean MVS is wide receiver 2? No.
What about Randall Cobb, man? Aaron Rodgers.
No.
That was a contingent.
No.
His return to Green Bay was contingent upon Randall Cobb coming back.
Which I love and I think is awesome.
That is pretty cool.
It is awesome.
Got him out of the dreaded Houston Texans.
That is all publicity. He's trying to embarrass Jerry Krause Jr. and he's trying to basically get his friend paid and get him back. He would do it with Jordy bombs too. If he could.
Absolutely.
He'd do it with Jones too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, he's just trying to kind of, I don't know, karma. You could call it karma, but
he's throwing his power around a little bit.
Exactly. And he's very smart, so he can do it pretty well.
Yeah, that is an Aaron Rodgers thing to do.
Yeah. All right, I'll move on though.
Okay.
We talked about the running back stuff. So. But on that note, I think that, so tell me how you feel about this. One thing that I've been thinking about and I've kind of always had in mind, how much do you put into the offensive line proficiency or ranking in terms of running back production?
Well,
is it dependent or is it like correlated with every single running back, do you think?
I think there's a lot of correlation there, but I think it kind of goes both ways, because if you just have a stellar running back, then it kind of lifts the stats and the proficiency of the O-line.
Makes them look good.
It makes them look good, and not necessarily the other way around. But if you have stellar O-line play with a not so great running back, then it's the O-line probably making the running back look good.
Okay, good.
Not so.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
It's definitely not one way or the other. Again, obviously, this is an opinion. I'm not like, this is how it is. But there's Saquon Barkley that his rookie year made him look pretty good. They weren't that bad. They were awful. They were god awful.
Right.
Right? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. They always have been.
They're still not great.
The Panthers O-line, I don't know how good they actually are.
They've always been sort of middle of the road, and more towards the back end. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've had a top 10 O-line finish recently. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think so.
And it won't ever really matter as long as 22 is in the backfield. It really won't. Yeah. So that's kind of...
Or Mike Davis.
I guess Mike Davis too, which was awesome. I loved watching that.
Oh, yeah.
Sad because he was a Seahawk and we didn't get any of that, but I loved watching all that.
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, where I'm getting at here is that you have your Saquons, you have your CMCs, okay, and they're kind of like, it doesn't really matter. And it will matter this year. I'm sorry for New York Giants. They are so bad. They have a actual paper mache front offensive line. Kenny Golladay is not going to be able to run a 5-step route. They're going to be 3-step out, slants, ins. He doesn't run those. Okay, but don't let me divert here. I'm talking about running backs.
Okay.
Saquon.
Stay on track, Squatch.
Yeah. Saquon, honestly, he has it to do all of that stuff, still be relevant, still make amazing plays. It's sad to watch how terrible they are, but he has it. Now, taking those two, maybe Alvin Kamara, and then go to the rest of the pack, it's a huge deal. It's a huge... Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. He's very, very good. He is very good. If he did not have the Colts offensive line, I do not think he would be anywhere near drafted for redraft in the first round. I don't think so.
That's definitely where he's going right now.
I think he'd be in the Dobbins era, down, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, buddy, you just talked about offensive line and rushing attack. Now you just referenced the number one rushing team in the NFL with Dobbins behind.
Right.
But it's a little convoluted when you have Lamar Jackson is also a running back, and then Gus Edwards is one of the best backups in the league. So there's a lot there. And like I said, it's not black and white.
And a lot of that is them just rushing the ball more than anybody else.
Exactly.
In one of the mini episodes of the Square Off, I talked about J.K. Dobbins. And I believe, if I remember right, the Baltimore Ravens O-line finished 15th or 12th, somewhere in that range. But not...
For rushing?
For rush. Well, just overall, just their O-line.
Just
as far as ranking per Pro Football Focus.
Oh, wow.
So, their O-line was not up there, but it was just more so the fact that they were just a massive rushing attack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just read something about how when Lamar's on the field, rushing it doesn't really matter who's behind him, is going to be amazing.
Right.
But when Lamar's not on the field, it's kind of...
Right. Then it's sketchy.
Yeah. So because they key,
But I think that goes back to if the Colts O-line wasn't as stellar or wasn't as good as it typically is, Jonathan Taylor falling into that J.K. Dobbins range, you're probably right.
That's what I'm saying.
So
if you take Lamar out, and if you put Carson Wentz on the Ravens, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so you can put that into a lot of different dudes in the NFL that you might be excited about this year. Miles Sanders, Mike Davis, bless his heart. Not really Austin Eckler because he has so much of a passing threat or receiving threat, pass catching. But some of these other guys that you're like, they're really good. They're great. They're coming out of college. Najee Harris.
Ooh.
Has an awful offensive line. But we saw that 37-yard catch during preseason, and that guy, he looked good catching the ball. He looked good. What
Yep.
is he, like 6'2", 225 or something like that?
Yeah, he's big.
He's a big boy
He
for
is.
sure. But if he can do the passing game, okay, then take him. But if you're drafting Harris based on rushing production for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I have bad news for you. It's not going to work out. This year, it's not going to work out. And I hope he doesn't get injured over it, like Saquon did last year.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Joe Mixon, is he kind of in that same boat? Because that Bengal O-line is.
That's a great one right there. He definitely is.
Man.
And he's good. He's very good.
I get so tempted to draft Joe Mixon in the second round every time he comes by.
Yeah, but you're so glad you don't.
And I'm so scared when he's right there.
Yeah.
And I just get afraid to take him.
So many people hate his guts just over fantasy football because they get so excited, and then at the end of the day or at the end of the season, they're like, "Damn you, Joe Mixon."
Just lets you down.
Yep.
Every time.
So that rant was offensive line correlation to running backs that aren't named Saquon or Christian or Alvin.
Right.
And that applies to Derrick Henry. It really does. Put Derrick Henry on the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Without Julio. Gross.
Gross.
Not good, dude. Like when you watch those 3-yard runs for the Titans and you're like, what are you doing? And I get it. He's powering him down. You're running into a defensive lineman that's going 20 miles an hour for 15 times. The 16th time, you're not going to want to tackle that in December. I get it.
Right.
But
Derrick Henry's kind of the same argument as the Baltimore Ravens, where they just run the ball so many times. But with them, it's with multiple people. But with the Titans, it's just Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So he gets that volume and just goes. But yeah, I get what you're saying there for sure.
Mm-hmm. And that kind of, but that anyway, transition here. That was the correlated rant. In segue, I just want to say this real quick. This might be a hot take because I've heard this a lot lately and I want to set this. Okay.
Uh-oh.
A lot of stuff about Aaron Jones lately not being like, oh, he might be a between the 20s guy. I don't see him getting touchdowns. I see him touchdown regression. Does anyone have, Kyle, I need you here, dude. I'm sorry. Does anybody have a stat for me? How many touchdowns did Aaron Jones have that were over 10 yards?
Ooh.
Because as a goal line back, I see goal line as 10 and in. I don't see goal line as red zone. If you're doing a 15, if you're doing a 10 plus yard run for a touchdown, then you are like, that's not, I mean, that's a solid, that's a, what do you call it? Highlight play. That's not a goal line run. Okay. So I'm not biased. I don't think I've ever owned Aaron Jones in any league. Alex, you can probably back that up because you memorize all my teams and make sure. But Aaron Jones, I feel like for the most part, he has highlight runs. And it's, I mean, we don't have to get into why, but he has bus-sized gaps. And he's not always going off of Bacardi's butt or whatever his name, however you pronounce his name. It's not going off him every single time. But he's got bus-sized lanes, and he's like making the jukes right up the middle, and they look like they're over 10 yards. The dude gets yards, gets touchdowns. And I am here to say RB1, Aaron Jones.
Whoa.
Book it. Not overall.
Oh.
Top 12. Top 12.
Okay.
He's in the no. Yeah, whoa.
Like, whoa.
He's in the top 12. He's in RB1.
Okay.
And RB1. Not
And
the
RB1.
Yeah. Sorry, not even close to Christian. Yeah. Christian will be quarterbacks this year.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't need to even go into that.
You
but
think
anyway.
Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are both going to have standalone value?
I do, but I think A.J. Dillon is going to be, his value is going to be much more inconsistent unless Jones goes down.
Right. Okay.
Or Devontae goes down. If Devontae goes down, start Dillon. Aaron Jones or not, start Dillon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But if Devontae's up and Aaron Jones is up and they're on Lambeau, it's going to be inconsistent.
It's just going to be a wild guessing game.
Yeah. I mean, Rodgers will
maybe a DFS dart from time to time.
Exactly. Yeah. Good. That's a good one there.
All right. Fair enough. I can get behind that.
Aaron Jones take. There you go. Next one. This was my segue because we were talking about Derrick Henry. Have you seen the 370 plus carries stat and the guys in that category?
I don't. I've heard it before, I think, but I don't remember it.
I'm going to go off the top of my head. I want to say when you're talking about 370 plus seasons, carries, I don't even think it's touches. I think it's carries. We're talking about, I want to say David Johnson, Christian McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell, and now Derrick Henry. And when you take these players after these 370, and again, I want to say carries, not overall touches, carries, and then you look at their next seasons, they are either season-ending injuries or busted seasons.
The curse of 370, I see.
Exactly. Yeah. And so obviously Derrick Henry had over 370 last year. He was a monster. Obviously, he's an outlier. Like I said, he is an upright defensive lineman that runs 20 miles an hour. So there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle will be the first one to tell you. This guy's an outlier, though. Like, every time he's in the text thread, Kyle's like, well, stats and statistics don't really apply to this guy. And I can get behind that. But I'm telling you, I'm saying this, he's not going to give you last season.
Well, you want me to give you this right here? In 15, there were 29 seasons in the league's history where a running back carried the ball 370 or more times. Mm-hmm. In 15 of those 29 seasons, backs who topped 370 totes the year before saw their production drop by at least 40% the following season. The average decline in production among all 29 of those running backs tops 40%. So 40% drop in production for Derrick Henry is what you're telling me?
I'm saying either that or, and don't at me because like I said, I know he's a monster, but I'm saying injury.
Well, I did make a very hard case, a very clear case for Derrick Henry against Alvin Kamara.
I know.
In
I'm not
the first Squatch Square Up mini-sode as I was looking for you. So now you're making me nervous.
I'm sorry
about my Derrick Henry argument.
I am sorry. But I think this stat does hold true. It's the workload. It's just the overall thing. I think it's something to definitely take into account. I'm not drafting Derrick Henry this year in any of the redrafts. I'm actually selling him in all dynasties right now.
Ooh.
That's my take.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that hurts Chance's heart.
Oh, it definitely hurts Chance's soul.
I'm sorry, Chance. But on that point, let's get to Julio.
Oh, Julio.
Julio.
Okay.
Let's talk about Julio and hamstrings. Sorry, Alex. Just for a minute.
Ooh.
I get Julio. Again, he's another outlier guy. He's a monster. He's huge, and he plays through injury. But I think what we're seeing right now, first off, he's a Titan. I think Mike Vrabel has shown that you cannot trust what comes out of his mouth in regards to Julio's health at this point. I think that's already a given, a for sure thing. Number two, I think that Julio is still capable. I think he still has the skill. I think he has the speed, and the strength. I think that his body starts to break down this year.
Julio?
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Julio.
No.
I think his body I think it was already starting to break down last season. He was getting 3 massages a day to try and play each week just on his hamstrings. And even when he did play, he'd only play like a half. So hamstrings aren't really muscles that just like bounce back, especially if you've had like a serious injury that you came back too early from. Not saying he did that, but it sounds like he kind of was doing that last year. I'm staying away from Julio in all redrafts and dynasties. I think that he is a number and a name on the back of the jersey to lighten the load for Derrick Henry and get him out of the box.
Fair enough. I have had a hard time pulling the trigger on Julio in redraft drafts as well, because you look at that stat line from last year and the inconsistencies of playing 2 games, missing 1, coming back for part of 1, missing another 1, playing 4 games, doing really well as he was back for those 4, but then missing part of the next one and then missing a whole game, and then comes back and plays 94% of snaps and does fine. and then misses the last 4 games. Mm-hmm. So just back and forth, never knowing when to trust him.
That's it, because you got to start him, right? And if you drafted Julio, especially last year, but this year probably what, 4th, maybe if you're lucky, 4th round in redraft.
Yeah, right around the 4th round is usually where he's going
for like 10 or 12 man. Okay, so that's an investment. I don't see it. Not with that risk. It's too much risk for me. Maybe we got some Julio truthers out there and you want to take that risk and you think that there's enough reward there, but it ain't me. I'm sorry. Right. And I'm sorry, Alex. Because he told me not to dog on his guys, and
so now you're dogging on his guys.
I'm pretty sure it's just Julio. I did. There'll be a little more, just one more thing coming up, but that's it. But other than that, it should be fine. Okay, next one. This is a really cool one, and I'll get your take on this.
Okay.
But I really like this one because we were wide receivers in high school, so we kind of have like an idea of what's going on. Especially when we watch players, we can kind of take in what they're doing and be like, and really appreciate what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I think that there is a tier, and I don't think it's necessarily like tier 1, but I think it's a tier of what I call unguardable wide receivers.
Okay.
You can bracket them, you can double them, you can shadow them, and you can even put Stephon Gilmore on them. It's not really going to matter.
Right.
These guys are Devontae Adams, Steph Diggs, and I'm going to throw this out there, Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay.
Because I said receivers, I didn't necessarily mean tight ends.
Right. Pass catcher. And
maybe we saw a little bit of it last year, but I think he comes into it this year. Like Devontae and Steph for sure. Mm-hmm. They're in this category. Maybe Calvin Ridley this year.
Ooh.
I'm talking about unguardable route running wide receivers, 5-star, has a expanded route tree. I'm not talking about slant boy Mike Thomas. He is the best slant runner in the league, the best out runner in the league, but that's it.
But anything more than that, not so much.
Yeah, 11 catches, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. That's Mike Thomas, right? And there's a reason why.
Yep.
Which is great, but
hey, it works.
But these guys that I'm talking about can run anything, and you won't guard them. It doesn't matter who you have out there. And Josh Allen's like, I'm going to throw to Steph on this play. And they're like, oh my God. Doesn't matter. He's going to burn you.
He gets open.
Yeah, he's going to burn you and your friend, and he's going to catch the ball, and it's going to be hard to tackle him. Same with
Devontae.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams.
So Calvin Ridley, I think, is in this. And so your first question, I'm guessing, where's Tyreek Hill?
Where is Tyreek Hill?
Here's my thing. Go back to the Super Bowl with the Bucs. I get that the Bucs have an amazing defense, but did we see on a global scale how to an extent, and I know the debate with this is you pull up his stats. He had some great stats for that game.
Oh, yeah.
But we all watched the game, and we saw him get taken out of the game plan for the first half. And I think the first 3 quarters. We all watched that happen. And do you think you know how that happened or why that happened? Like off the top of your head. What do you think?
Safety over the top. Just two safeties.
Two safeties up.
Yep.
Very, very deep. Do you know how far they were playing? They were playing at least 18 yards every single play. And then obviously they were getting to Pat, right?
Right.
So they were playing at least 18 yards. I want to say maybe 15 out, but they were way back there. They zoomed out one time and showed how far back their safeties were every play. And so it immediately took out the safety over the top, the blowout of Tyreek every time. Because by the time JPP and all of them were getting to Pat, he wasn't even to whichever safety. If he wanted to run a skinny post or if he wanted to run deep, he wasn't even to the safety yet. The safety hadn't even turned his hips.
They just took away the speed.
And it's that simple with him. He's not a route runner. I mean, he runs good routes.
Right.
And he gets open, but he's not Diggs. He's not Tay. He's not Calvin Ridley. I mean, I know I'm going to get hate for this. And I'm sorry, Alex. But did we see how to take Tyreek Hill out of a game?
Oh, absolutely.
I think we did. And as a game planning defensive coordinator in the NFL, would you rather take Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the game or Tyreek Hill? right? Are you going to put more in the box? No, that's stupid. You can't take Travis Kelce out of the game. It's impossible.
No.
It's not happening. Yeah. That's just ridiculous. It really, I'm sorry. That's why he's in this list.
Right.
You can't take him out of the game. And he's going to get his 7 catches. He's going to get, it's done deal when you play the Chiefs. But I think we saw how to take Tyreek Hill out of games.
Yep.
So
yep. No, I agree with that.
Could be hot. I'm sorry, Alex, but there it is. He is not. So what I'm saying is basically take that into consideration when you're drafting. I drafted Tyreek Hill in a new dynasty I'm in, first round. First wide receiver off the board.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying he's tainted, but I'm just saying and he was wide receiver 1 last year, right? Or
he was up there. He wasn't quite wide receiver 1.
Maybe in standard. But that doesn't matter anymore, I guess. Standard's dumb.
Standard's not standard any longer.
That's so great. Did you make that up?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's legit.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm sure I've heard it somewhere, but
that's good.
He was wide receiver 2.5 PPR.
Okay.
He was number 1 in standard.
And I'm not saying he's inconsistent either.
And number 2 in full PPR.
Okay. But what I'm saying to that is you can't take Devontae Adams out of a game. Good luck. Literally, that 3/4 of the play, Aaron Rodgers is like, this is going to Devontae. Same thing with Diggs. And Diggs is going up against Stephon Gilmore at least twice a year.
Right.
And he burns him. Steph Gilmore is so good, he cannot stop Diggs. He can't.
No.
He can take Amari out of a game. You remember when Gilmore just destroyed Amari Cooper?
Yes.
Made him look dumb?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Amari is good.
He's a good route runner.
Yeah.
Amari's
there you go, Alex. He is very good.
Talking up one of his guys.
Yep, there we go. See, I canceled it out. But he is very good. And he got shut down by Gilmore. You cannot shut down Diggs. You cannot shut down Adams. Okay, there's my rant for that one. Unguardable wide receivers in the NFL. There's maybe 4. There's 3 of them for sure. There's maybe 4 with Ridley.
Oh, yeah.
And sorry, Tyreek.
I think it's almost time for Ridley to be put in there. Maybe not quite, but almost.
We're going to find out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, and Mike Davis is good, but we're going to find out. So they're going to be giving him the ball a lot. My next thing, hyped wide receivers in the NFL. Okay? Oh. And I'm not saying overhyped. I'm just saying, good God, take a step back. Just a little bit, please. Okay? 4 guys that I want to talk about. DK, CD. I like doing that because they're 2 letters.
DK, CD.
McLaurin, Scary Terry.
Oh, yep.
And Jefferson.
Ooh.
Okay? And like I said, not overhyped.
Uh-huh.
Just fire.
They're just hyped.
Just a lot of fire, yeah. So I want to talk about why are they hyped so much? And before I talk at all, what's your take? Why are they hyped so much? What's going on here?
The new hotness, man. The new hotness. Well, and then with Justin Jefferson, we saw what he
They're
had.
all sexy as hell, right? Yeah.
He had the greatest rookie wide receiver season of all time, Justin Jefferson. But all of them, yeah. I mean, you got DK's size and his speed, and CD's just great catchability up over the top. Scary Terry, he's a pretty good route runner.
Oh God, he's good.
Yep,
he's good.
But yeah, no, I mean they're the new hotness, man. New young hotness.
Well, so I'm taking when I say like hyped, not overhyped, just like so. What I've been hearing, and this is more so what I'm referencing, is like more so when people are saying like, oh, what about this trade? What do you think about that trade? The amount of what you would call equity, especially in Dynasty, for these guys is too damn high. It's so much. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, I see it and I'm like, okay, I get it, but I think it's time to pump the brakes. When we talk about DK and CD and even Jefferson being on the same level as Deandre Hopkins. I didn't even put Deandre Hopkins in the unguardable wide receivers because I think he can be shut down by a couple CBs in the league now. He's great at getting open, but I think he's getting to that point where he can get shut and I kind of watched a couple of times last year where he did.
Well, and DeAndre doesn't really need to get open.
He's got banana hands, dude.
If you watch that,
It doesn't matter where you throw it.
watch that Hail Murray.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know how big his hands are?
Massive.
He has to special order gloves.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically what I'm saying is when you're talking about these guys, even Jefferson, I'm sorry. I get it. They had great seasons. We all saw CD with Dak. We saw the chemistry. I get it. But at the same time, when you're talking about guys like Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, even Robert Woods, these are guys that, well, obviously D-Hop and Keenan Allen can go off. They can be like 20 plus. Not really Woods. Woods is like another MT type of production guy. Maybe not as consistent as putting up what Mike Thomas puts up, but he's going to give you like 8 catches, 60 yards, touchdown every 3 games, something like that. It's going to be pretty consistent. When we're talking about that consistency and we're talking about that amount of output, I don't think that we can realistically, in a redraft, trade these types of guys, these sexy dudes that I'm talking about, for older, refined, consistent, game-planned wide receivers on these other teams.
Ooh.
And I'm getting kind of sick of looking and hearing about it. In Dynasty, completely different and totally new, wrenching my thing here because of age.
Yeah. Depending on team makeup and where you're trying to go with the team and all that. That makes sense, right?
But a great example of this, and this is for a running back competition right now, is Raheem Mostert and Trey Sermon.
Yep.
Get out of my life and house and everything else if you think Trey Sermon is as good as Raheem Mostert. It's just it's not even close. It's not even like, and it's going to be exposed in the first week maybe. You might get a big run here and there, but it takes a little bit for them to get used to game flow and the speed of the game. Running backs are quicker than wide receivers. And that's why I'm saying this right here with this hype wide receivers. And I'm not saying running backs, because running backs might take like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Clyde, CEH is taking a whole season. But some guys they can go pretty quick. Wide receivers generally take at least a season, maybe 2, especially tight ends. So when you get all this hype, I'm not even going to get into Kyle Pitts. When you get all this hype, though, just take a step back and be like, where's the numbers coming from consistently on like a 2 to 3 year basis? And for a redraft, maybe plug into some value there, because these guys, you're never going to get you're never getting DK for value. You're never getting you're seeing guys reach for these guys.
Oh no, you're going to have to pay up to get them.
Right.
Or draft
in a redraft, which is, to me, it's disgusting anyway. So there's my rant there.
All right. Fair enough.
What did you think about that one?
Well, how
do you feel? I think DK. Okay, here I'm going to have a hot take coming up with DK coming up, and I'm a Hawks guy. I love DK. Remember the other day I was like, get DK on the mic. I want to hear him talk.
Yeah,
because I think he's a cool dude. Like he's an Olympian, right? Somewhat, kind of.
Well, no, but
what did he run like?
Don't get me started on that.
Oh no, what did he run like though? A 10.8?
No, he ran a 10.3, which was that's what I said his ceiling was when he raced the 100 meters against the true sprinters, but he got last in his heat,
which says
ran
something.
10.3, and that wasn't even the world, like the top of the world class guys that he was running against. That was just like,
okay,
oh, here's some top class American sprinters.
Yeah.
But he ran 10.3. I was expecting like a 10.6. And I said his ceiling was going to be like a low 10.4, high 10.3. And he went out and he ran his ceiling for sure.
Okay.
But he couldn't hang.
Okay. And that's fine. I can respect that. I definitely don't know. So I respect what you're saying here.
I love that DK got out and did it.
Yeah.
That was cool. Gained a lot of respect for DK there.
Yeah.
And then especially the respect that he put on track and field and the sprinters there. But anyway, I won't get into that.
I like that you said that though, and checked me a little bit, because I did kind of I just dropped like Olympian, but
don't you drop that.
Okay, good.
That's a high air there that's a high mountain you gotta climb to get there.
I respect that. Anyway, so my next thing here, and I'll make this one a little more quick, because this one's kind of like iffy. I want to know how you feel on this one, and you can be like, So be skeptical.
Push you away.
Yeah, be skeptical from the beginning about this one. I call these guys one-timing QBs, okay? And so it's kind of the same rhetoric, especially, again, this is for sure in a redraft. If you're in a dynasty, lock these guys up forever.
Okay.
Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, and Kyler Murray. Okay. Obviously, here's my first thing. Just Josh Allen and Kyler, they have a running dynamic. They're a little harder to put in this because if passing isn't going to work out for that day, they can just get 40 yards. And that's huge. That's 4 points, right? Right then. Whereas, like, you would have to throw 120 yards to get 4 points, right?
Yep.
As a quarterback. So what I'm saying is, and this is coach speak, I thought I saw both of them want to dial it back on the running so that they can kind of get some longevity for their career. What I'm saying for these guys is we've seen Josh Allen take a huge step. We've seen Kyler take a huge step very quickly. And Justin Herbert, quicker than anyone, we saw him take a step. You and I both watched him, but no one watched him more than Kyle, maybe Alex, at Oregon.
Right.
He made some bonehead plays.
Yes, he did.
He made some throws sometimes, and I'm like, what are you looking at? Some Jameis Winston Tampa Bay Buccaneer throws on the Oregon Ducks. And I am his biggest fan. I want to see him do amazing things. I pull for the guy. He's easy to root for, you know?
Right.
Even as a guy from Oregon. And being two Oregon State alums right here. I still want to see him do that well. But I think what I'm trying to say is in a redraft, you're going to get a bumpy road next season.
Ooh.
You're going to get a little bit of bumps in the road. I don't think this correlates to Diggs. I don't think this correlates to Deandre. I think they get theirs, and they make sure that they get theirs because it's Diggs and Deandre.
Right.
And Keenan Allen as well. But I'm thinking that overall for the stats and for the fantasy output-wise, you're going to get some bumps in the road from these guys, especially where they're being drafted and what you're expecting from them based on last season. There's people that think Justin Herbert is God.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you were not in the living room, in Kyle's living room with me and Kyle and Alex watching him play, you know, and Kyle could probably bring him up, but like teams like University of California, Berkeley, like these not good teams, like Chip Kelly teams. Is he still at UCLA?
I think so.
Hopefully.
As far as I know, I think he is.
Poor guy's really washed out.
Poor Chip.
Yeah. But, you know, teams that not even anywhere near the defenses and the schemes that he's going through now. He did amazing last season. He did awesome.
Right.
I don't think it's exponential. I don't think it's logarithmic. I think you're going to get some bumps from all three of these guys this year.
That's fair enough. You're saying wait on QB?
Mahomes, Lamar, I think they are going to destroy people, light people on fire. I don't think Lamar, I think gets it now. Patty is generational.
Yeah.
Lamar, I think, might be too. But I think Lamar finally gets it.
Yeah.
He needs to keep running. If he's going to stop running, then I take this back.
They have talked about him possibly passing more, but also 4 of his top 5 wide receivers right now are all on the injury report. So
Sammy Watkins alert.
Gosh.
I'm not going to talk about him today. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I think to take that into consideration for redraft, those 3 guys, you might have a couple others. I don't think Dak's in this category. I think he gets it. Lamar gets it. I think Joe Burrow might be in this category.
Oh.
But you didn't see anything from him last year, so I can't really put him in this category because he hasn't one time. He just kind of showed us some cool stuff and then tore his knee up.
Yeah, he did.
So I think these guys are definitely in this category because you're going to expect a lot from them. You're going to get some bumps. All right, now super duper running back hype.
Oh,
these are gonna piss some people off.
Uh-oh.
So get pissed.
Get ready.
Gibson, Najee, I already talked about. Mixon, we already talked about. Clyde, JK.
Yes.
Hype with these guys. Fires emojis, obviously, right?
Everywhere.
Gibson is in a different galaxy right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to hype.
Yes, he is.
And I'm going to more so focus on him because we talked about Najee, and I think we get that. Terrible offensive line more than likely correlates to his rushing stats.
Mm-hmm.
Mixon, same thing. CEH, you are a supporting cast member of, the ship that the Leonardo DiCaprio of the NFL leads, which is Pat Mahomes. So if he wants to dump down to you, he can. He can do whatever he wants, though, and it's going to be your writing on that ship.
Right.
Okay. I'm not saying he's bad. He's good, but, you know, these other guys are kind of like key cogs.
Yes.
So, and I want to key in on Gibson here because people, you are off the rails. And I have Gibson in a few leagues, but I am not off the rails like you people.
Like you people.
You people are off the rails. Gibson or a second in Chubb is what I was like. What is this? In a darn.
I can tell you exactly what I'd take.
Yeah, like you people. What are you doing? What are you? Oh, he's going to run a CMC type role. Show me, don't tell me.
Right.
Like, since when? He's not CMC. He's not. There's nothing about. I mean, yeah, at Memphis he caught balls from the slot, and he can catch balls. Okay, cool. He is not CMC.
Well, they have not been using him on third down in any of the preseason games thus far.
Yeah,
and he was not used third downs last year.
JD tore it up.
Yeah,
and I mean, he has. I'm not going to get in the turf toe, but. Does Alex have Gibson? I don't think he does.
No.
Okay, good.
Alex P.
Oh,
the other Alex.
Okay, we're good. Okay, so yeah, you people are off the rail. So what I'm trying to say here is that you're talking about the Washington football team. They are and correct me if I'm wrong, a top 3 defense in 2021. That's my take.
I could agree with that. They look on paper pretty
disgusting.
Nasty.
Yeah, they look disgusting. I'm going to try and draft them. But when you have a defense like that and you have a quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick, who, AKA my boy.
Yeah.
I aspire to be that man. When he had that interview in the Hawaiian shirt and the chest hair, and we all know it.
Classic.
Yeah, I'm talking about old news, obviously. But my God, do I wish to have the charisma and flash of that man. Oh my God, dude. I was just sitting there watching him like, how do I get anywhere near that life? Anyway,
how can I be you?
Yeah, seriously. Just like mentally. I guess it's confidence, but whatever. Anyway, he's not that good. Fitz. He's good. He likes to sling it football-wise.
Just career journeyman.
Yeah.
Never made the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's all right. He's good. I remember listening to your guys' little spiel on him. And
yeah.
Didn't Alex say top 10 or didn't someone say
Chance?
Top 10? Okay,
Chance did bold prediction of top 10, I believe, for Fitzmagic.
Chance is on a cruise with Gibson, top 5 running back truthers. You guys are on a cruise together. He's not a top. I'm sorry, Chance. I love you, and you still have the utmost sex appeal of our chat thread, but you are not. You are off the rails for top 10. That is not happening.
Oh, inside jokes.
Yeah, because Rivera is going to put all the pressure on the defense. When you have a defense like that and you want to win games and you want to rebuild a culture, you want to get to a level where people are like, I want to go to Washington.
Yeah.
I want to get what they got going on there. Terry McLaurin's
They got a lot of rebuilding to do, especially after all the
and the front office
crap that they had.
My God.
Oh man.
Did you hear?
What a mess.
Maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but did you hear about this stuff? Okay. I heard that obviously they got fined $10 million, which is which is pocket change. So dumb.
For an NFL franchise.
They were creating crystal clear staircases with executives underneath so that they could look up and see into women's skirts.
Oh yeah, it was a mess.
It was that bad.
It was a mess.
Yeah, so anyway, that's a rant. I'm not going on that. We're talking about football. When we're talking about the Washington football team's offense, I think that McLaurin gets his targets. I think that they are going to be around 10 plus, but you can probably take 10 to the bank.
Okay.
Curtis Samuel, I think, is going to be is not going to be someone you can put in your lineup. When we get to Gibson, though, I think he's going to get some carries. He's going to have good games, but oh my God, where you guys are putting him right now, it's not good, man. It's really
not
bad.
Good.
It's really bad, man.
He's going
That's how you
way
lose
up there. When you're
leagues.
trading Nick Chubb in a second for Antonio Gibson.
Oh my God, it's disgusting.
Brutal.
Oh, but he's going to run a CMC. Dude, stop, man. Like, I got all the love. I think he's going to be great. I think he's really good, but no, not he. People even say top 10.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a top 10 back.
No?
No. I don't see him as an RB1.
All right.
I see him as a high-end RB2, which means that he's in the... I see... I'm going to be as close as I can to the microphone right now. I see Chris Carson outpacing Gibson in a redraft half PPR this year, 2021.
I've had those thoughts, and I'm glad you vocalized that.
I mean, that's not even... Is that even a hot take? It is for a lot of you people.
I think it could be. I mean...
A lot of you people.
I know a lot of people realize that Chris Carson is heavily underrated, for sure.
I'm going to get to that.
But I know a lot of people realize that. A lot of fantasy analysts and fanalists like ourselves out there do realize that. But at the same time, yeah, a lot of those same people have Antonio Gibson up in that God tier almost.
Yeah. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. Check yourself. That's all I have to say. These other guys, J.K. Dobbins, I think that we've done the checking. We're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to get some stuff from Gus. You know, CH, like I said, he's on that ship. And Najee, terrible offensive line. There's all this stuff there. I think we get it. But the Gibson thing, it's got to stop, you people. It's got to stop.
You Gibson people.
Yeah, you're going to hit an iceberg soon. You need to stop. You need to dial it back to half speed. Okay.
Fair enough.
Now, non-sexy gimmies. Or
okay.
What is it? These are non-sexy gimmies, and de facto, the number one non-sexy gimme is Nicholas Chubb, none other.
Oh,
I'm sorry, you just traded him. I know you just traded him. It is Nicholas Chubb, the number one non-sexy gimme.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't trade Chubb because he's not my boy. You know, like he's still my boy.
Okay, good.
I just did what had to be done
to get
in a rebuild team.
Okay, good.
But
I respect that.
He's still. Don't get me started on Nick Chubb.
Good. I mean, I've seen people. It's like, oh, it's a PPR league. Like, come on, noob. I get out of my face.
See Derrick Henry.
Yeah, no. See yards per carry. See
number one O-line in the NFL last year.
Exactly. I just got done talking about the correlation between that. This dude gets bus-sized lanes. Oh, by the way, he is the best pure rusher in the NFL. That is a next gen. That is a stat.
Correct.
You cannot undo that. I think Alvin Kamara is like number 2 or 3 too.
Yeah, he's right up in there.
If you, with the statistics of Alvin Kamara and like kind of his gameplay and how, I mean, he catches the ball better, but people take this into like, and maybe you look up his dimensions after this. People are comparing Alvin Kamara in the way he plays and the stats and everything and how he runs, his level of gravity to Marshawn Lynch. Is that weird?
I mean, Marshawn had great balance.
Yeah, ungodly.
Alvin Kamara he's like the best balanced back in the NFL.
Kind of the same thing, huh?
Yeah.
And a great rusher in his own. I mean, people love him for his pass catching just because he is really good at that.
Right.
But I mean, he's not grabbing his nuts in the end zone or anything, but he's still got that ability of rushing. It's very underrated.
For sure. Okay. For sure. I totally agree with that.
Sweet. He's not in my non-sexy gimmies though. He's sexy as hell. Aaron
Right.
Jones is though.
Yeah.
He's a non-sexy gimme.
Right.
Because of the fact that people are saying he's within the 20s. I don't believe that. I think he's behind Aaron Rodgers within 10 yards. When you want to say, if you want to say goal line back, when I hear goal line back, I'm thinking 5-yard line. 6-yard line, 8-yard line tops. But behind 8-yard line, you could run shotgun and it's not weird, you know?
Right.
Things haven't gotten weird yet. Am I saying AJ Dillon can't catch the ball? No, I think I'm a truther.
Yeah.
Let me out myself. I'm an AJ Dillon
Let
truther.
me out myself.
But I think that AJ Dillon is going to rumble it in from 3 yards. Yes. 4 yards. Yes. 5 yards. I'm not going to keep going. But after 10, between 10 and 20, which is half of the red zone, which is what a lot of these people are talking about between the 20s. No, I don't see that. I see like all of these runs happening from where he's always done it from, these 10, 12, 13-yard runs, even a little into 10. That's why they paid him all that money.
Yeah.
And you pay him to give you what he's been giving you. AJ Dillon is more of insurance to me. Do I think he has a good season? Yeah, I do. Because I think they put a ton on the rushing attack this year. And the rest on Devontae.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's it.
Well, Aaron Jones is being drafted behind Antonio Gibson in a lot of drafts that I've seen.
Which is ridiculous. Which is stupid.
It's about 50-50 in drafts that I've done and mock drafts that I've done, but I see Antonio Gibson go ahead of him pretty often. And
in a redrafts, right?
In redrafts.
Which is disgusting. It's so dumb. No way. Okay, next guy. DeAndre Hopkins. He's a non-sexy gimme. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people, some of you might be like, what? Come on. I don't know about that, man. Come on. At this point in his career, he is a non-sexy gimme for me.
He's not the new hotness anymore.
No, he's not. And he's also not the guy. He's not like, when you're talking about top wide receivers, like I just said, he's not in the unguardable tier. I don't think. I think that he can be shut down. I watched him last year get shut down a couple times and get super frustrated and then blame it on Kyler or blame it on Kingsbury or whatever his name is. I forgot.
Kingsbury.
Cliff
Kingsbury.
That's why I did that.
Kingsbury.
I told you I'm dyslexic and bad with names. But that's what I'm referencing, honestly, is like, I'm just saying he's not that guy anymore. So he's a non-sexy gimme for me and also where I'm seeing him drafted.
Uh-huh.
I think it's disrespectful to me.
Well, he's definitely going later than he has for quite a while. Last year he went late simply because he was on a new team.
Yeah.
And a lot of people brought up that rhetoric of, even when star receivers go to new teams, they don't do well. Well, I'm pretty sure Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins shut that down.
They shattered that, yeah. They broke that. Keenan Allen, non-sexy gimme.
Ooh.
Gimme Keenan Allen as a top 10 wide receiver this year.
I'm with you on that.
If he stays healthy, it's not even I don't think it's a question.
Yeah.
I think Justin Herbert has some bumps, but I think that they have the connection at this point and they know how to get the ball he knows how to get the ball to him on a lot of routes.
Well, and Herbert's not going to have Anthony Lynn there telling him to stop targeting Keenan Allen so much.
Yeah, just whatever mess he was telling him. Yeah.
Oh,
Next guy, Chris Carson.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What do I even have to say? Do I have to say anything? 2020 February Pete Carroll. 2020 February Pete Carroll. We are going to run the out of the ball next year. He is going to go back to what he is good at. He's going to take the pressure off Russ, let Russ cook, worked for 5 games, and then it broke. So kind of, and I'm sorry if this hurts anyone's feelings, but kind of exposed Russ Wilson and his ability to be a Pat Mahomes or a guy that can just like pass on anyone, anytime, every play of the game.
Uh-huh.
He's not that quarterback. We figured that out last year. I'm not going to bag on Russ Wilson. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
But he's going to put the pressure back on the run. He's going to go play action. He's going to take some of the pressure off of Russ so that he can have more throwing lanes so that he can get kind of a clear picture of Lockett and DK. Okay. And Gerald now.
Yeah.
I think Gerald gets some balls. Dude, DK is going to hurt some feelings this year in redraft. He's going to hurt some feelings. If you are drafting DK in a second or third round, you lose. You have lost your league, in my opinion. Those are guys that are going to like give you week to week production for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is again backed up to those hyped up wide receivers. Is he really good? Yeah, he's incredibly fast. But he's going to be so inconsistent this year. I honestly, and this is the hot take aspect of it, think that Tyler Lockett is more consistent than DK Metcalf this year.
Wow.
Throughout the season.
Spicy.
Yeah.
And it's spicy.
And it's based on play action and the ability to correctly time play action routes and the timing that Tyler and Russ have and the ability to route run. Mm-hmm. DK does not have that. What DK is good at is getting open, especially on broken plays. Who's the best quarterback in the league at broken plays?
Oh, Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, maybe Russ. Maybe Russ.
You got a good point there. But Russell Wilson makes his living off that because he has an terrible offensive line.
When you just ask me who's best at passing stuff. It just goes to Mahomes. But no, I get what you mean. It's Russ.
The reason that we paid him so much and the reason that he complained to get more is because he does so much of making things up on his own.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So, and I'm not even going to get into that. Okay. I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
But we're not going to do that this year so much. Spoiler alert. Well, Pete is going to run the ball.
I heard a stat that was on some podcast, maybe last week sometime, talking about the inconsistencies of the Seahawks, first off, of letting Russ cook for the first half. And then when they did dial it back and start to run more, and you saw the fall off of Russ, you saw the fall off of Tyler Lockett and the fall off of DK Metcalf. And that actually, I can't remember what weeks it was, but in that second half of the season, that Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf were like right neck and neck, or Tyler Lockett even had the edge on DK as far as like consistency and scoring, I believe. So
in their own, I mean, because obviously DK had huge games, multiple touchdown games, but once they got to the end of that season, they got back to the way Pete feels comfortable doing the offense.
Right.
And that is what they're going to do this year, because Pete literally is like, I don't care what Twitter says. This is what we're doing. This is how we won 2, 3. Did they win 2 or 3? They won the 2 Super Bowls since 2012?
They've only won 1. They've been to 2.
They got picked on the goal. I think I blocked that out of my memory forever.
You may have.
I won't talk about that. Next guy, Kareem Hunt. Yes, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are both non-sexy gimmies. Give me both of them on the same team.
Ooh.
Give me both of them on the same team. Yeah.
I like it.
I will start both of them.
I like it.
On the same team. Yeah. And at me for that. At me.
Me too?
Yeah. I like them both as top 15 running backs this year. Write it up.
Write it up.
Take that to the bank.
That was one of my bold predictions last year, and all you guys gave me crap.
I did.
Brown love.
Yep.
Gotta quit betting on Browns. And oh my gosh. No. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Whoa. And look what happened.
That's the good call.
Look what happened.
You deserve credit where credit's due. Okay, next guy. Okay, my next guy is just is J-Rob. But at this point, James Robinson is pretty obvious. So,
well,
he's not really a non-sexy guy anymore, is he? He's an RB1 talker now, not overall. He's a top 12.
I mean, he came out, it came out today that Travis Etienne suffered a mid-foot sprain and was a Lisfranc injury and is in jeopardy of losing his season. It sounds like his season is going to be done.
I mean, when it comes to that injury, it's over.
Yeah. So
he's
James Robinson guy. Now.
So, yeah. James Robinson is now in the talk for a top 12 RB finish. Again, he was RB7 last year with the team. Now he has Trevor Lawrence. Now he has a more productive, hopefully, DJ Chark and an offensive guru. Yep, I said it. We'll see what happens in the NFL. But yes, he is an offensive guru. We'll see. And was it Alex or Kyle just tearing him up this morning?
Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's just tearing him up.
Ever since Urban Meyer got hired, Kyle's been all off of that.
He hates him.
He ain't going to make it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't care.
No, I love it. Bring the heat.
Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. You really think that they're going to run Henderson? You think that that's the game plan? Run the 200-pound, 5'9" Henderson like you were going to run Cam Akers? No. They are not. You think Sean McVay is smarter than you. I don't care who's listening, for all of you listening, and me included. Sean McVay is smarter than you. He is not running his 5'9", 200-pound running back like he ran Cam. It is time to switch things up and put the offense, the pressure on the guy you just got. The smartest guy in the offensive room, Matt Stafford. He puts balls, and I'm sorry, but Kenny Galladay is about to be exposed. Because Matt Stafford was just peppering him and giving him Matt Stafford's a baller. He's going to make Cooper Kupp look good. He's going to make Robert Woods look good.
Yep.
And they're going to chuck. I don't know if that involves Tyler Higbee. I don't have him in here. Maybe. Alex likes to think so.
There'll be some Tyler Higbee involved.
I think maybe. I don't know about consistent wise, but maybe. There you go, Alex. So
a little bit.
But
little
for
bit
sure, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods in this, okay? And obviously, Tyler Lockett is in this, okay? I have Raheem Mostert in this category. I think that Raheem Mostert is going to dominate carries, dominate touches for the San Francisco 49ers because he's good. He is very good. And Kyle Shanahan likes to run the ball. And he's directed. Is that left tackle Lawrence? Is he still on the 49ers? Didn't they pay him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got paid.
Okay, he's the best. He's the best left tackle in the league, right? Still? He was...
In my mind, he is.
Okay. and then the rest of that offensive line is nothing to... I mean, it's not top 3, but it's a solid offensive line. And Kyle Shanahan, again, is smarter than you. Is much smarter than you when it comes to offense in the NFL. So it runs through the running... he's not putting it on Garoppolo. He's not... I'm sorry, truthers. He's not putting it on Trey Lance. It's not happening. It's not happening.
What?
It's not happening. Play action. Bring the LBs up. Make them commit before pre-snap. Make them take a step up. And then get me Ayuk. Get me Kittle. Get me even Debo over the middle on outs. Get me some schemes going to open up the middle. That's what he wants. He wants to get the ball quick to his receivers. Let them run. Let the big guys run. In open space. You can't have open space unless you have these guys that are in this... what do you call it? The D lines up front. These guys in this intermediate zone, you got to have them commit to get what he wants. And you do that through the run.
Yep.
So that's...
And you are bad with names. It's Trent Williams. He's the left
Trent
tackle.
Williams, dude. I'm sorry. Lawrence Williams, my bad. I'm sorry.
Trent Williams.
I'm so bad with names.
Highest paid left tackle in the NFL.
And
but they want to get him out in front of even those wide receivers because do you remember the play where he's like leading the running back and he's almost like going the same speed and just completely levels a dude?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch that video.
That after this. That sounds awesome.
Pretty great.
That's awesome. That sounds like that movie's terrible. I'm not gonna name drop that. Anyway. Tyler Higgins and Tyler Boyd T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I'm dyslexic. You can take that to the bank. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are both in this as well. Both of them are non-sexy because I don't understand why T. Higgins isn't sexy anymore. What you guys do? What are you people doing?
He is to some, but it's real split.
Jamar Chase is not ready for the NFL, guys.
You got the Jamar Chase truthers out there, and that's why T. Higgins isn't sounding quite as
I throw
as
my
good.
hands up, though. To the Jamar, I mean, like, he's the third best wide receiver on that team, guys. Right now. Yeah.
Yeah, with the camp and the preseason he's been having.
Tyler Boyd might be the best wide receiver on that team. Does that hurt anyone's feelings? Because it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. T. Higgins might be close. He might. I mean, there might be a couple ways that he's a little bit better, but Tyler Boyd is the best wide receiver on that team.
Yeah. He's getting left for dead in some drafts.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense. Jarvis Landry is on this list.
Oh, Jarvis.
He is. He's on this list. Jarvis Landry is a 6-catch, 80-yard guy.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that as their second flex?
Well, yeah, if you're looking for a good floor flex play, like, hey, I just need somebody in here to get me points. This is Jarvis Landry.
Round 10.
Throw him in.
Yeah, give me that.
Right.
Oh, do I take Traycon Smith or Jarvis Landry? Yeah, Jarvis. Throw him in there. He's a buy guy. He's a second flex guy. I'm not saying he's going to be Jarvis Landry from past, but he's going to get you some points.
Yeah. The ceiling may not be quite as high as it was, but I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed a good amount of points, depending on your scoring format.
I think with the injuries that like I'm foreshadowing here, I think that guys like Jarvis are going to get some opportunities when people go down. I don't see Jarvis going down. He's not a guy that really goes down very often.
No.
Is he? No,
not at all.
Gus Edwards is on this list.
Ooh, the Gus bus?
Gus bus. I honestly, I see Gus on this list, even with J.K. healthy and Lamar healthy. They love Gus. And it hurts me to say because I got a lot of J.K. shares. But they love Gus in that system. They always have, and he does really well. What is he, like 5.4 yards per carry throughout his career?
Yeah, he's up there.
He's very
He
proficient.
always has a high yards per carry.
Yeah. Do you have a stat over there you wanted to reference?
Oh, I just looked at Jarvis. You just said he's not a guy that misses a lot of time. He missed his first game ever last year. So,
oh my God.
Just one.
See, there you go. Intuition.
But he played in 16 games since 2014 every year. And last year he played in 15. So
that makes sense. He's just a really compact guy. He's not like all over the place and super fast like Odell.
And you look at Jarvis, though, in PPR scoring, he finished back in 2014, was wide receiver 34. Then he was wide receiver 8, then wide receiver 14, then wide receiver 6, then wide receiver 18, then wide receiver 12. And last year was wide receiver 33. But
so it might be able to come. It might come back a little bit this year.
I mean,
I don't know.
He's a consistent. Pretty much, he's almost a for sure like wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3 guaranteed.
Yeah, give me that wide receiver 28 at the ADP that you guys are giving him to me right now. Give me that all day.
Yeah.
All right, T.Y. Hilton's on this list. Oh, gross.
Yucky.
That's disgusting.
Yuck.
He is on this list, guys. I'm sorry. He is on this list because of two things: ADP, and I'm going to talk about this in a second. The amount of money that the Colts are paying him. Do you want to know how much they're paying him?
Not much.
They are paying him $10 million this year to play football.
That's much.
He didn't even play that much last year because he was injured all the time.
No, he was hurt a lot of the time.
I think he's in the same realm right now as Julio, as much as he plays and is injured and how old he is. Like I said, does T.Y. still have all the things still? Yeah. These great wide receivers, it's not the speed, it's not the will, it's not the strength. It's their body that stops them from playing in the NFL. Honestly, he played injured, you know?
Yeah, he did. He played in a lot. He had a pretty high snap percentage up until their week 7 bye, and then missed a game. He got knocked out early in week 8, missed week 9. Then he came back in week 10, and from week 10 to week 17 played in an average of like 65% of snaps. But he did have a little revitalization between week 12 and 14, where he scored 16, 21, 23 points in there. But he's just kind of playing about 60% of snaps.
I see him and Carson Wentz having a connection.
Yeah.
I see Michael Pittman kind of being super inconsistent. And I know there's some Pittman truthers out there, but the guy is big and kind of slow. I have a good amount of shares of him. I like his attitude. He seems like a gamer. He seems like a chippy guy. I like that. Obviously, Steve Smith is my favorite all-time player, so obviously I like that.
Yes, you do.
But at the same time, I think T.Y. is a little... I mean, obviously they paid him, and money talks in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to talk about that a little more in a second, but the amount of money they're paying T.Y. is a reason why he's on this non-sexy list that the ADP is at. Everyone thinks he's gross right now, and it's like, I'll take him, whatever.
Yeah.
He could be a guy that you throw on your flex from week 2 because you're like, whoa, they're really hitting him a lot lately. He's going to be a guy that someone picks up in the waiver for like 60 fab bucks.
Uh-huh.
Because you didn't draft him. So I'm saying right now, take him with your second to last pick. Take that chance. Zach Ertz is on this list. Ew. Disgusting.
Not sexy.
No, so unsexy. Carlton in the middle of the dance floor. Gross.
Okay. Come on. Give Carlton his due.
Oh, man. I'm the worst dancer in this room, so I can't. But, again, he's on this list. They're paying him. They are paying him like $9 million this year, I think. Okay? And they don't want to.
No.
They wanted to trade him. They wanted him in Indianapolis.
But nobody wants to pay him $9 million a year.
Nope. Exactly. So, and also the owner of the Eagles is out of his mind.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And wants ransoms for everyone. So what I'm saying here is that they are going to game plan him. Jalen Hurts likes throwing to Goddard and... Is it Goddard or Goddard?
Goddard.
French, isn't he? Goddard? Okay.
A lot of people pronounce it Goddard.
I don't know.
I think it's Goddard.
Okay.
I think it's just Goddard.
Okay. My bad. That is names. But Zach Ertz, I think, outproduces Goddard. Outproduces Goddard this season. I'm sorry, Alex. I just realized. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And that's going to hurt more feelings
just
out
all
there.
over his guys again. Sheesh.
I
Look at you go.
made an effort to not.
Well,
So every time I did, I just
you've
realized.
made some poor cases for some of the guys that I defended in the Squatch Square-Offs trying to find you.
And I'm sorry for that.
But you've talked pretty good about a couple other ones that
yeah.
I've talked about. So
Yeah, fair.
it is what it is.
I'm negligent.
And if you were sleeping in a cave somewhere.
Yeah. You can't pin that on me.
All right, fair enough.
Now, here comes a fire round. I'm just going to go through teams.
Never admit negligence.
Just get out of the car and shake your head. Take pictures, get out of the car, shake your head, wait for the cops.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. Okay, I'm just going to go through teams, and I'm going to give you kind of a mindset of game plan from my perspective, what I'm thinking that is going to go through. Because I think a lot of you people are out of your minds and the rhetoric or timelines of what these teams are going to do. So let me just plant this, and then you can at me for these and be like, what are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? This guy's going to blow up.
At Fantasy Squatch.
Yeah, bring it. First off, Panthers. DJ Moore is going to be inconsistent this year. I'm sorry. He's really good. He's very, very good. But I see him as an inconsistent commodity for the Panthers this year. And you want to know what I like this year? And I've been trying to get him from you for a while.
Yeah.
Is Sam Darnold drop downs to CMC within 20 yards of the end zone.
Yeah,
all
buddy.
day long.
Yeah, buddy.
Dude, I think that Darnold is going to really pad his stats with that.
Okay. Got no more fantasy to mentor.
Nope. And that is what's going to, like, I think that's the hidden gem of the Panthers. Darnold drop downs.
Yeah.
We all know CMC is going to blow up, but Darnold drop downs are going to be part of that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, cool. Titans, I got right here. Run game, play action, terrible division this year. If you think about the teams inside of the Tennessee Titans division that they play twice, what are we talking about? Like Texans, is it Saints?
Colts.
Colts are in there. They're very good. Obviously,
Texans, Colts, Jaguars.
Jaguars, right.
Yep.
So I'm focusing on the 4 games between, and I want to say they have almost 9 games this year where they have either not so great teams or teams in rebuild like the Saints.
Uh-huh.
Almost more than half of their season. Okay. And so, yeah, I think Derrick Henry is going to have a bumpy year somewhat with either injuries or production. But I think that with draft Tannehill as much as you can. Okay. At ADP, don't reach for him. But get Tannehill, man, because that play action is going to be hot to trot this year. We saw it last year, and it's unguardable when you have that defensive lineman running the ball.
Yep.
So, honestly, terrible division. They're going to tear it up at the end of the year. They're going to tear it up during championship playoffs. They're going to tear it up.
All of it.
Yep. Take it to the bank. I'm telling you right now.
Boom.
Browns. This is a championship team this year.
Yes.
This team is going to emulate the run game of the 2020 Titans. I call this team the 2021 Titans because Baker is going to get his gold from play action. Yep. He is not a quarterback that sits back and reads and then passes. He's not that good. He's good. Easy. We've seen it. He's got it. He's okay. He can make points. He can be up there. He's better than Jared Goff. He's better than all these other guys. Okay. But he's not pocket passing. He's not Justin Herbert, or maybe, he's not Josh Allen. He's not these other guys.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's not a Rodgers. Yeah. He's not a pick and play. He's not going to pick defenses apart, but he's going to benefit from play action.
He's going to Tannehill it.
Exactly. and he also can run a little bit. He's not that fast, not as fast as Tanny, but I see this team looking very, very similar to last year's Titans. I call them the 2021 Titans.
With a better defense than the 2020 Titans.
Amazing defense, yeah. So, championship team right here. Okay, Giants, here you go. Sorry, Giants fans. You have the worst offensive line in the NFL. It's so bad that I think I don't want to watch games, but just because I want to watch Saquon play, I think I will. What does that mean when you have a terrible line for offense in general? It means quick wide receiver routes. You aren't going to be able to get through, and I know this better than anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that because we could talk for a while about that. But quick routes for all the wide receivers. They're either going to be chuck the ball in the air as far as you can, or slants, ins, outs. And it's going to be Saquon hard yards. Okay? But what does that mean for Kenny Galladay?
Not good.
Well, he likes deep routes, right? He's a guy that really benefits from deep routes, going up, getting the ball. He's a guy that can catch the ball with a lot of contest. He can't do a deep route if Daniel Jones is being sacked.
Right.
So I don't know how that's going to happen. I'm not saying that he can't get a contested slant or an in or out or something like that, but he's either going to have to change it up a little bit or it's coming back just a little bit. Okay. I'm sorry. Because I traded UKG. I'm not going to dog on him right now. But.
Well, I traded him away right after that. So.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay.
Chance has him now.
All right, we're good. Chancey's got a lot going for him in his life. So we'll just dog on KG. He'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Chiefs. I talked about this earlier, but I just want to bring it up. The Bucs exposed Tyreek during the Super Bowl. Everyone watched it. I know that the Chiefs sat in a room for 8 months and tried to figure out how to not let that happen again. And they signed Schwartz and they signed some other guys so that they can't get that much pressure. But you can't stop another defense from putting two safeties deep. And you're either going to have to show that CEH is a dominant between the tackles runner, which we haven't seen yet.
Right.
Not even close.
Right.
Or something to the level of screens and stuff happening within that same area to kind of open it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, but we all saw how to take Tyreek out of the game. We saw it.
And every NFL team's just going to steal the game plan.
Yep. We all saw it. We all saw it.
We all saw it.
Kelsey, he's going to break. He can break records this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I think to this thought, Clyde has a chance to break out this year more so than ever because it's like, hey, do you want to do this for us? Because if you can, we are unguardable.
Yes.
Unbeatable.
Yes.
Don't even care what the defense looks like. They have a pretty good defense.
It just won't matter.
Yeah, it won't matter. Okay, sweet. Seahawks. They are going to run the ball all day long. Okay. And when they are done running the ball, I mean, it might kind of look like another Titans type of thing. They're going to play action. DK and Lockett are most likely going to be inconsistent for this year. Both of them. I don't think that you're really going to be able to be like, oh, throw DK and he's going to be great. You might do that for the first 3 weeks just because of where you drafted him and how he did last year. But this year, it's going to be more inconsistent. And hot take, again, I like Tyler Lockett more at his ADP. And I think he might be more consistent of a commodity this year than DK Metcalf.
Ooh, buddy.
That's my hot. Okay, Washington football team. The pressure is going to be on the defense, okay? McLaurin's going to get his, but Gibby is going to not be as good as you people think he's going to be. They are not putting the pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's not a good idea. Bless his heart. And they're not going to pound Gibson, okay? They're just not going to do it. So they're going to play with what they got, and what they have is a top 3 defense. And that's how you win championships. And they want to go deep.
Oh, yeah.
Ron wants to go deep. All right, the Cards. They have an aerial assault. This is the exact opposite. Cliff's going to put all the pressure on Kyler. He paid up. Obviously, he got J.J. Watt. But he paid up so that he could get an aerial assault just like he had at Texas Tech. So now he's got it, and he's going. That's the meat of the Cardinals this year is an aerial attack. Where does Chase Edmonds fit into that? Do you think?
Well, Chase Edmonds is probably more the pass catcher there.
Yeah, a little bit.
As far as a running back goes.
Not real. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I don't see him fitting into that very much.
Yeah, well, yeah,
especially
I can see that.
Since Kyler can just run it in,
right
on the 8-yard line. Drop 5 wide, drop back, and run it in.
Well, and a lot of people think James Conner is going to be the goal line sort of back, so coming in.
And fantasy production-wise, I see James Conner as the 2020 Matt Breida.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry. But I don't see him doing anything this year because I don't really see Chase doing a whole lot. I mean, I see him having some good games, but I don't see him doing a whole lot this year.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And that, for the most part, are the teams that I wanted to talk about and just kind of get a mindset for this year, because I wanted to make sure that because I keep saying you people, but I keep seeing all these things. And
everybody out there.
Yeah, I want to make sure that you guys understand, like, they're not going to just pound Najee Harris into the ground. Why would you do that with a terrible offensive line? They're going to get it to Deontay. And Deontay is going to get his, but Deontay is going to be a good guy to draft. He's going to get production. He might be a low wide receiver 1. It might be like wide receiver 12 or wide receiver 11. I think.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. I might be 13, 14.
I like Deontay a lot this year.
Yeah, I know you do. But he's going to be in that area, I think. I don't see him breaking top 10. Chase Claypool, if you're a truther, I don't really see it because I haven't ever seen consistency, but the dude is a best ball favorite.
Claypool's going to be a Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, he's a blow up
type.
Like, boom, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I see Claypool being like a 2020 Tyler Lockett sort of play.
Me too.
Where he could, maybe he does end up as a wide receiver 1 somehow, but it comes off on the back of getting 35% of your score, of your yearly score in 2 games, you know?
Yeah.
So, which I believe is what Lockett did. Maybe it was 3 games, but
no, it was 3. I think. I know the
it's
first
like a 30% of his whole score for the season was in 3 games. So,
yeah. Well, that's kind of that's what I'm saying for Chase as well. And then Juju, sorry, Juju. He's going to be looked at in the red zone again, I think, but he ain't getting no 9 touchdowns. I don't think. He was lucky to get that last year. I don't know why he came back. I heard he was getting like 11 from Miami.
I thought he had an offer from Kansas City as well.
Yeah.
So
like 11 from Kansas and Miami. And then he came back to Pittsburgh for like 8, which is less than Tyreek.
Right.
I'm sorry, not Tyreek, but T.Y.
Right. Oh, yeah. T.Y.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, on that note, let's move over to Miami. No touchy. I don't see
just staying away.
I don't see a single player on the Dolphins that I want. I don't see a single guy I want to start this year.
Yeah.
Not one. Yeah. Maybe Will Fuller at his ADP right now, just because everyone thinks he's disgusting.
Well,
so gross.
I think he's dealing with another injury thing right now, though, too.
He practiced today.
Did he practice today? Okay.
I don't know what that means for Will Fuller, but he did practice today.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, get Tua out of my face. Get Alex, you can have Myles Gaskin. And like Jalen Waddle, he's really good, but no, I don't want him this year. And Mike Gesicki, no. Mike Gesicki. Nah, I don't want him. Okay?
All right.
Is that fair?
That's fair. I might. Waddle's one where I've considered taking a shot on late if he falls down far enough, as a high reward sort of play. Definitely high risk, high reward. But at his ADP, depending on how you build your team, a lot of the time you want to shoot for those. Hey, maybe he could just pan out and be the next Justin Jefferson somehow. But I personally don't think that's going to happen.
No.
But, if it's late enough in the draft, then I'll take a shot on him just for the hope that he'll go. And if not, then I can drop him 2 weeks in and
he's a
pick up a waiver wire.
Dart throw, right? Kind of.
But I get what you're saying for the most part. I find myself usually staying away from Dolphins completely.
Yeah.
So
okay, good. We're on the same page.
Yep.
When I say Minnesota Vikings offense, what do you think?
Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson.
Okay. Good. That's good.
Just 2 players.
Okay, and both of them are sexy as hell, right? Obviously.
Oh, and then Thielen always slips
he's
in.
Not. But you didn't say it though.
But Thielen,
I got you.
You did. You caught me. Yes, you did.
And I got you again with.
I thought about it, I was like, but then Thielen slips in there after those 2.
But I got you again with Kirk Cousins too.
Yes, you did.
ADP.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't even going to mention Kirk Cousins.
There we go. Yeah. So what I see with that team this year is if you want to blow your wall, if you want to draft Dalvin Cook at a high, number 2, right?
He's usually going 2 overall. Yeah, like second pick of the draft.
So Alex, if you want to take Dalvin, go ahead. But what I'm saying is, and it'll be fine. This is why I'm here.
I love it.
And I think that it'll go great. And I think Justin Jefferson, I think, has another good year. I don't think he's going to be, I don't see him as top 8.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Guess what? I think Adam Thielen at this point in his career is better than Justin Jefferson at a lot of things. I don't think he's faster than Justin Jefferson. No. I don't think he makes as quick of cuts as Justin Jefferson.
No.
But I think that Adam Thielen overall, when Kirk Cousins wants to pass the ball, trusts Adam Thielen more in a lot of ways that don't impact fantasy football. And I think that says a lot to who gets the ball and who gets the looks and who the game plan goes through.
Another non-sexy gimme.
He is a non-sexy gimme. But the thing is that is he going to get injured? He's been kind of a glass man lately, like in the Julio range. He's only 30 years old. Julio's 32, right?
Right.
So they're in that realm of drop-off with the body.
They certainly are.
So there's that to look out for. But Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins, I want you guys to just kind of take that into consideration.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you.
I like it.
So we talked about Justin Herbert. We talked about Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Okay, so we're good there. I think that Eckler-wise, we're good too. I like the hype. I think the hype is warranted.
Yeah.
With the Eckler. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's probably going later than he should. He's another one that is often drafted after Antonio Gibson.
Oh, if you're drafting Austin Eckler after Antonio Gibson, then
it's
delete
usually
sleeper.
that range. You see,
delete sleeper.
you see, never delete sleeper. They're great.
Well, if you're that guy,
not a sponsor, but but you usually see Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, all kind of, and Najee Harris. All kind of being shuffled around in that range. Sometimes Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets up in that mix, but depends on the draft. So sometimes, you see Eckler going well after some of those guys. Mm-hmm. So
okay, well, but my second, the only reason I bring this up is the thing I wanted to say real quick before I move on to another team is I think that Eckler at some point goes down. Do you know the dimensions for Austin Eckler? Well, you have it up now.
I've just got his stats from last year here.
He's 5'10", 200 pounds. And so I'm another numbers guy, kind of a little bit statistics, and running backs that are under 215, 212 pounds, I don't like them to hold up in a workhorse role over the course of 16, even 17 games. I don't. And I love Austin Eckler this year. I think he's going to be a beast. I think he has top 5 potential in 0.5 or 1 PPRs. I really do. Is that hot? I don't see it as that hot.
It's not crazy hot. It's warm. Okay, it's a warm take.
Okay. That's what I see. I really, really, really like him this year, but I think he goes down at some point. And I think the guy is, are you listening, Kyle? Roundtree.
Oh, boy.
Have you seen him in the preseason? Have you seen him running? I'm not even talking about before. I'm talking about before defense touches him. He's quick.
He is.
He's sharp.
He is.
He meets them with his face. He hits hard. He brings it to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. He does.
Is his first name Larry?
Larry Roundtree. Yep.
Larry!
You remember that name.
Yeah, I got
Good
Larry.
job.
I really like him.
Be quiet.
No, I'm sorry.
You're giving away too much.
I really like him. I think Eck goes down at some point, and I think that I'm not saying Roundtree takes over for that. I think that when you talk about how the Vikings work with Madison and all that, and how I talked about the Packers, I think when Eckler goes, and I said when Eckler goes down.
Yes.
Well, the pressure goes on Keenan, and the pressure goes on Mike Williams. And Mike Williams will make you cry this year. He will make you cry. He is not. I think that
he's pretty good at that.
He has everything right here in front of him to do it this year. He will not do it.
All right.
He will not do it this year. Take him at ADP. Go ahead. If he slides, grab him.
Yeah.
But if you're taking him at ADP, and if you people are reaching for him, you people do not reach for Mike Williams. He will make you cry.
Are you just talking to general people? Or are you talking to our leagues?
You know who I'm talking about. If you're listening right now, you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, he's talking about me."
Then you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stop
fair enough.
mocking and taking him early. Stop it.
Fair enough.
Stop taking Antonio Gibson early.
Well,
knock it off.
To just get you back to Roundtree here and Eckler. Eckler usually runs about 60% of snaps. And obviously we know that the majority of his game is in the receiving game because when he was healthy from week 12 on, he was averaging about 8 targets per game and probably about 7 or 6 receptions.
It's amazing.
His first game back, he got 16 targets and 11 receptions. So, I mean, that was massive. And he's typically getting about 10 to 15 carries a game. So, I mean, you've got 40% of snaps available for another running back and probably a solid 10 to 15 carries.
You don't have to do
right
this.
There.
You don't have to do this if you don't want to.
Shh. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
You don't have to. No, you do now.
Larry Roundtree, just keep an eye out for him.
I'll do it.
At the end of your draft.
He'll work out for you. He won't make you cry.
Shh. Anyway.
Okay, moving on. Okay, let's talk about the Jags. Because all of a sudden some stuff's happened. I want to say one thing. Before the Etienne happened, I was taking J-Rob at ADP.
Oh.
Okay, I was.
Bold.
And I showed you I was too. I'm not lying, am I?
No.
That's right.
He was.
I was doing it.
I've seen him do it.
Yeah, I'm not full of it. And I traded J-Rob to Ben, and I'm really regretting it now in our dynasty. I'm hurting.
My team is slowly becoming a contender.
I like to see it too.
As I rebuilt.
Good for you. I
shipped everybody off.
Do you have 8 first round 2023?
I have 6 2023 first round picks and 5 2024 first round picks.
Both of them are mine. You have both of mine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's okay.
When you talk about the Jags offense this year, what I think that you should be thinking about is Urban he's going to run the ball. I think that he has the same mindset. Do I want to put everything on Trevor Lawrence and 2 mediocre? I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, LaViscas. 2 mediocre wide receivers? No, I don't really want to do that because that's what's pretty much destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars for the last better half of a decade.
Is the other one Chark or is the other one Marvin Jones? Because how dare you besmirch Marvin Jones?
Oh, no, the other one was Chark.
Okay.
The other one is Chark, yeah. I'm not...
I have fully converted over to your side of Chark because I know we debated that in a couple episodes last year, but I have fully...
You've come over
to your side.
God, I've been tearing him up for like a year and a half.
Yeah, you have.
I'm sorry.
And I have fully converted over to your side there.
Poor guy.
So I can agree with you on that. Yeah.
I think what the thought is going into the season is how do I want to start games off? What do I want to do with the offense to have the mindset with the defense be? And that's stop the run because the run is the first threat. I mean, in any game, you talk about basketball, like all of the old traditional styles. I see Urban as a smart guy. I think he's going to do smart things every once in a while. Sorry, Kyle. But he's not a Kyle Shanahan. He's not a Andy Reid. He's not like, these Sean McVays. But I think that he has enough to know once I establish the run game, then I can start to develop my pass game because I'll open up looks for my rookie QB. Mm-hmm. If you destroy the confidence of a rookie QB in the first 5 games, that's how you get Jameis Winston. That's how you get Marcus Mariota. That's how you get these guys that are like, I don't even know who I am in this league. I don't know what I'm doing. So he wants that identity, and he wants the offensive identity of run first. James Robinson, as of today, is back in the talk for a top 10 running back season in redraft.
Well, I hope you're right.
I don't understand how he's not.
I hope that you're right. And
Carlos
I hope
Hyde
you're not
have
giving Urban Meyer too much credit. That's
to run the ball.
That's the one thing.
And drop down to James.
I know what you mean.
Kyle,
it's a simple concept, I feel like.
Kyle was texting me week 3. He was like, look at this guy. He's catching. He's running. Like, he's pretty quick. He looks like a Phil Lindsay.
Yep.
And he kind of was.
Yeah, he was.
He was RB7, right?
Yeah.
I see him building on that. I see him a little better this year. I hear that he's building on that, and I hear that he's better this year. We all saw the video of him picking up the blitz for a 3rd down And we all saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And so they trust him. So I think that the offense runs through James Robinson this year. Is that weird?
I mean, it could be weird.
I think he's a league
but
winner
I'm gonna
right now.
Accept it, and I'm gonna like your words.
I think for the people drafting today, good for you. You can actually even reach for him right now a little bit.
Well, you're going to have to reach for him, I think, just because he's still sitting down there on the ADP list on probably whatever platform you're drafting on. Yeah. So, I mean, if you really want to get him, you're probably going to have to reach because at some point somebody's going to. With the news of ETN going down, somebody's going to reach for him.
Kind of like a Darrell Henderson type of thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are the sexiest teams I've seen, the biggest kind of like this huge mind cloud above. And, and I'm kind of these are the teams that I wanted to be like, whoa, slow down. Like they're not letting Russ cook this year. And I think we got that in. So I feel pretty good about that.
I know. I liked it. You did good there.
Okay.
You did good. That was some good headlines from all those teams.
The last thing that's pretty quick that I'm wrapping this up with is I talked about it a couple times. Equity. How much are you paying which players before the first snap of the first game? Okay. And that aspect of the NFL shows you the game plan that they have in the offseason they're coming into the season with. And that's huge because don't get me wrong, every good coach will adapt to what the defense gives them in game. You know, Sean McVay doesn't go into a game and go, keep doing what we've been doing this entire time. It's what we talked about before in the locker room. He is like, okay, they're doing this. They're giving me a 4-3. They're giving me 2 safeties up. They're giving me this and that, audible in game. Obviously, he's a genius, and I'm just rambling paraphrases. But they adapt in game. They don't just keep going. But the aspect of having these guys that they game planned for in August and June and July and even April before they drafted, they paid him all these big bucks. Then they paid Robbie like 16 mil guaranteed, 30 mil today, right? 2 years, 15.
2-year contract extension. Yeah.
Like 16 guaranteed. That's big. That's a perfect example of guess who's getting the ball this year if you're not named Christian McCaffrey? Robbie and DJ.
Yep.
So that, I mean, and Curtis got one too. Or wait, no, Curtis isn't there anymore, obviously.
No, Curtis Samuel got paid from Washington football team.
So all of you people reaching for Terrace Marshall, you need to stop in a redraft. You need to stop. You need to check yourself because I think Matt Rule's trying to simple things up a little bit and he knows what he's going to do now. They get the identity of that team for Sam Darnold.
Yep.
When you look at equity on some of these teams, they're pretty weird to how you guys are talking about these teams. One of them is the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, I brought that up with Zach Ertz.
Ooh, yeah.
He's going to get some looks this year, guys. He's going to be moving the chains for them.
He's making that money. They got to use him, right?
Yeah, it's going to be gross, but that's what's going to happen for them this year. I don't see Jalen Reagor breaking out. I'm sorry. I don't. I see Devontae Smith getting targets, but I don't know how it's going to work out.
It's like if you go to a fancy restaurant, and you don't typically go to fancy restaurants, and you want to try something new, and you get the caviar, and those eggs cost you however much amount of money.
Let's say $300.
$300. And you don't like it, you're going to sit there and you're going to eat it because you paid $300 for those fish eggs on your plate.
You'll wipe it clean with your tongue because it's Russian sturgeon's fish eggs. And you're not going to not
tastes terrible.
Disgusting, yeah.
Kind of like Zach Ertz right now.
Zach Ertz is exactly that.
Zach Ertz is caviar when you don't eat caviar.
T.Y. Hilton is the bowl lick that you have at the end of this awful experience at this 5-star restaurant. He is the bowl lick that you did.
That's it.
Because that's just the way it's going to be. Am I saying that JT's not going to get the ball, a lot? No, I'm not saying that, but T.Y. is going to get his, guys. He's going to get like 8 targets a game.
They paid him the money to come back for a year.
They did. And when they paid him that money, that meant this. We're going to get you the ball. How much money are they paying AJ Green?
Ooh,
that I don't
know.
$7 million?
He got a pretty good contract. I mean, so yeah, AJ Green's another one to bring up.
It's a terrible contract. It's for a guy that's past probably Julio in body breakdown. I thought it was awful. A really bad decision.
1 year deal worth $8 million.
That's disgusting in a bad way.
And man, I was all aboard AJ Green for the last 2 years, and when I watched him last year, I
fell off.
I noticed that he is just not the same guy that he used to be, and I wanted to believe so much that he would be.
Me too. We like him. Right?
He's always been one of my favorite wide receivers. Yeah. Always.
He's a likable guy.
He just he fell out. He doesn't seem to have the same burst. I mean, he sounded like he's been doing okay in camp with the Cardinals, but
that's camp speak.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to trust a lot of the time. Yeah, you hear some of these things in camp.
But what does this mean in the talk I'm giving right now? In the realm of
he's
equity,
going to be used. He's
in the realm of
$8 million.
He is in some sort of schematic plan for Cliff Kingsbury to get someone in some sort of range open. I don't understand it. But then again, I'm not Cliff Kingsbury. I'm not Sean McVay. They paid him $8 million. I mean, like right now, if I'm thinking about the Seahawks cap, I don't think Chris Carson is making $4 on this brand new contract he just got. Running backs aren't a very good example. Tyler Lockett, what his contract was $13 a year?
Tyler Lockett, it was up around that range.
3 years, $40 million or something like that. Maybe a little more.
It was signed a 4-year, $69 million.
Okay, so that's more like 15.
$37 million guaranteed, 4 years, $69.2 million contract extension.
Well, that's a S-ton of a lot more equity, obviously. But when we're talking about this year redraft, I honestly, and I don't know how much of AJ's contract is guaranteed.
Lockett's was $17,250,000 per year.
So that's double the amount of equity. And that is another huge reason why. When did they sign that? Like in March?
Yeah, that doesn't say here. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure like in March. That is it's going to be Russell
April 7th was when this
April 7th
is on here. Yeah.
That is play action, timing, throw the ball before his head turns around. Tyler Lockett. That's not a DK thing. And he's going to be there until DK gets his contract. That's what that is. And there's a reason for that. And everyone's dogging on him right now because of the 3 games, 40%. Yeah, I get it. But the equity's right there and staring you in the face. It's been there since March. You have to take that into consideration. And that's on a lot of these different teams that people aren't noticing because they're not sexy.
It's the new hotness, man. They're all about the new hotness.
Exactly. You got to take the stuff that's on sale, that's on clearance, and just you got to be that type B guy. You got to be that clean shaven guy when everyone's doing the beard braids. You got to be that guy. I'm sitting here with a full beard.
Same.
So yeah, I'm obviously not that guy. But anyway, that's my last thing is equity. When you are looking at teams and you're thinking about who to draft, especially late, who might be the James Robinson, the Darren Waller of 2021. It's not Noah Gray, everyone. It's not Noah Gray. But I think that it's these people that might... Sorry, I have to keep referencing you people. And
I love it. I love it.
That's another one that really takes me off. It was like for a week, it was like, Noah Gray. Do you realize the person that's above him? It's Travis Kelce. They're going to make a shrine of him. You need to stop. He's nothing even close.
No.
But anyway, that's something that we should all take into consideration before we draft so that we can get these guys that actually... Not the Darnell Mooney League winner to the moon. I'm sorry, and I'm not hurting anyone's feelings, hopefully, but these guys that have equity are league winners. And they're going to come out of nowhere, and you're going to spend all your fab on them week 2. Hey, instead of spending all the fab on them, why don't you draft them early and look like a genius?
Ooh.
Go for it, man.
Ooh, as they say in business, follow the money.
Yep, exactly. Follow the money. What did I say? I'm the Charlie Sheen guy, or did we figure Michael Douglas?
Oh, yeah, I think it is Michael Douglas. Yeah, it was Michael Douglas.
You got to be Michael Douglas, man. Be Michael Douglas.
Be Michael Douglas.
And that's all
Wall
I got.
Street. Wow.
That's it.
Oh, well, out of all that, Squatch, you made me like Tyler Lockett a lot more.
Good. I hope I made a lot of people
And you
realize.
validated my takes on a lot of people as well.
Good.
So all this fantasy radio and TV and NFL stuff you've just been playing as you slept in your cave and just absorbed it and took it in and had wild fantasy dreams. I think you did quite well to come out here and give your Squatch thoughts to the world. And hopefully you'll help people win a couple of championships this year.
That's what I'm here for.
Hopefully me.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not you. Wait, hold on. How do you feel about the Texans' backfield? Gross. But is there any points there to take away? Because they're all going really deep. Like, that's another one where it's
if I at all take a shot on a Texans running back, it's probably Phillip Lindsay. But
what is there though? Like, what do you expect in return? Like, if it's a stock that you're buying, how much is that stock price?
Oh, that's not good.
Is it a penny stock?
It's definitely a penny stock for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. What about if
and it's not going to make you much?
No. Okay. All right. For sure. For sure.
Pretty much. I mean, I can say with almost 100% certainty that like maybe a flex play.
Okay.
Maybe a flex play, but not even a Jarvis Landry level flex where it's like, okay, I know he's going to do this for me.
I agree.
It's just, okay, well, somebody's got to score points, and I'm willing to bet that Phillip Lindsay gets at least 10 touches. So maybe he busts something off and does something.
Maybe I'm just saying for like 20-man leagues or something like that. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, in a 20-person league, you're going to have to draft probably all of them.
Probably, yeah. Well, so for Superflex, Tyrod, same thing? Penny stock?
Yeah, I don't see Tyrod going anywhere. He is completely left for dead. But yeah, penny stock for sure.
And last thing, actually think about this before you say it, because it's easy to just say like, oh, gross. Brandon Cooks.
Oh, okay. That's one where I think he may be a value at where he is. Because
sometimes
it's Brandon Cooks, man.
He's a 1,000-yard guy for 7 teams.
Their defense isn't going to be good. They're going to have to throw the ball. And it's an NFL team. They're going to move the ball. They're going to score points at some point. If there's one player from the Texans...
That's funny.
If there's one player from the Texans that I would take, it would be Brandon Cooks at his current ADP.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Enough said then. I think we're good.
Enough said. We covered just about everything. Squatch here. Matt had a year's worth of thoughts just pent up in that big head of his.
Ready to get it out. I don't think we got to go into teams like the Cowboys and stuff like that, because that's just like, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's all those ones. We didn't really cover much of Denver or anything, but that's probably a good thing with me here. I have the biased opinions all the time. So.
Okay, if we can, let's take a 1-minute take. Just ready, set, go. You go running backs, wide receivers. Don't do tight ends, but running backs, wide receivers, and QBs for Denver. What do you think?
I like Javonte Williams. I think he will be the lead back there. I like Javonte in redraft.
What week? What week lead back?
I think he's going to get a good number of carries to start off with. Probably 10 to 13 touches a game to start with. And then I think he's just going to show that he's the more dominant back as the year goes on. So I think his workload's just going to increase. So I'm comfortable taking him. He is going maybe a little early right now, depending on what your draft strategy is. Wide receivers, I think Cortland's going to make a good return. I think he's going to be probably the number one target there. But Jerry Jeudy,
here we go,
tearing it up, buddy.
Yep.
He is showing out in camp, and actually there's a lot, even from last year, that points to Jerry Jeudy actually was good last year. He just didn't get catchable balls. He had a couple of games where he did have some drops, but that's fixable. He admitted himself he was thinking about running before he caught the ball. You never do that. Yeah. But his separation is really what a lot of people point to, where Jerry Jeudy was running wide open and Drew Lock just didn't see him. So I think that the wide receivers are probably, well, I think Jerry Jeudy's going to be better with Teddy Bridgewater. I think Cortland's probably going to be better with Drew Lock, and I'm just really hoping that one of Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater take a step up. But
so what does that mean? I honestly think it's Teddy. So
I'm kind of thinking Teddy too.
At least week one.
After this last preseason game, I'm thinking Teddy took a step forward in the QB race, but we'll see what happens after this third preseason game because Fangio's keeping it dead even right now, and he's still not naming a starter. So
all right,
we'll see. We'll see. But I like Javonte. I think if you can get him around later, then I would be okay with that, but you're most likely not going to be able to. Melvin Gordon, if he falls far enough, he's going to get work. It's going to be kind of like Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon last year. So I would feel okay with taking Melvin Gordon if you're really light on running backs. If you're playing like the anchor running back method or the 0 RB method, Melvin Gordon's okay. And then Judy and Cortland, I'm actually okay at their ADP right now. So
both top 20?
No, I don't know that. Okay. I mean, that's bold. I want them to be. I want them to be.
I'm glad you said it, though. I'm glad you can say it.
I think they both could be wide receiver 2s if Locke or Teddy take the step forward.
Okay.
We saw Teddy support it was, what did he have? It was like 3 wide receivers had almost 1,000 yards or something it was something weird like that. And that was in Carolina. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, that was Squatch's thoughts. We found him. We woke him up. He's back. He let the world know that he doesn't like some of your takes.
Oh.
And that you need to take a little deeper look at what's going on, especially equity wise.
Yeah. And also just stop with the jersey sale picking. Jersey sale picking doesn't win leagues. Boom.
No, it does not. Well, that'll do it for the Squatch. I am Ben. We are the Fantasy Chairman Podcast, Sasquatch Square Off. Follow us on Twitter at Chairman Fantasy, at Fantasy Squatch, and at Find FF Leagues, and our website, www.fantasychairman.com. And like, rate, and review on all the podcast platforms. Let's get on out of here, Squatch.
We'll see you guys later.
Get you out of your cave and we'll walk on down the old dusty trail.
Instead of walking, let's ride.
Goodbye.